Welcome back, everyone. And this week we are at Watkins Glen, round 8 of the Clark St James GT3 Season 4 in League in the Tanso Racing Group. And we've got a fight on our hands now as we get towards the end of the season. In the pros, after the last race, we have Harry Hartley-Price in first position. Simon Cheshire is in second. There's only 34 points separating those two. Andy White is in third on 204 points. And Peter Duke, 195. Baz Cutting on 186. So we're going to see how that plays out. Fairly close. And then in the AMs, there's only two in it. There's Mark Vero on 222 points and Sean Clark on 198. Jordan Hatfield in third is back on 120. So it's between the top two as we close out the season in a couple of races. But let's move on and see how they qualified for today's race. So we do have two classes, but we've got the qualifying results in order of fastest times. Now we have Andy White qualified on pole with Jean McLaughlin in second. Peter Sitkar returns after quite a hiatus. His first race back with us in a while, challenging at the top there in third. Craig Corish in fourth. Peter Duke is there in fifth. And just after Peter, we have Liam Fraser, Harry Hartley-Price in seventh, Tim Reed in eighth. Dean Shasby is the leading AM in ninth, with Jordan Hatfield in 10th, Ian Carmichael in 11th, Rob Sutherland in 12th, Robert Gregg in 13th, Oliver Sobczynski in 14th, Adrian Hatfield in 15th, Mark Vero in 16th, Sean Clark in 17th, and in 18th, James Fraser rounds us off. Let me just see. I thought there was a couple more, and I may be mistaken. There was. Jay Rooney in 19th, Scott McFall in 20th, and Buzz Cutting. Neither of those putting in a time, though. So let's go over to the pace car, and we'll catch them as they come round on their parade lap, ready for the green light. And here we are, ready to go for the parade lap. The order will sort themselves out. We have Andy White, John McLaughlin, and Craig Corish and Pete Sitkar. They're the front four. It's going to be a short parade lap as they come around the final corner. Lovely track, this. Challenging, fast, close racing we expect. And as we come down to the line, we are go, go, go. And Andy White just on the outside there. Jean McLaughlin takes the inside. And so Jean McLaughlin takes the lead from Andy White and Peter Sitkar, Craig Corish. Oh, we've got some trouble further back there. We've missed that, and we've lost a few of them. Trouble coming up the hill on that first corner. We'll go back and review that. All right, let's go back and see what happened here. We're all coming in the first corner, okay. Oh, what was that? Jordan Hadfield just caught the grass. Tim Reed went spinning off. Oh, and then we go bowling. Basically, we go bowling at the Glen. And there are damaged cars left, right and centre, unfortunately. So as we look further back here, behind Baz and James and Sean Clark there, see Jordan and Tim career across, and it's just absolute chaos. And even Baz gets squeezed there by Rob. Rob could do nothing about that. Wow. And Baz is lucky to be running away. The others, I think, all needed a trip to the pits. So back to the race. John McLaughlin, Andy White and Peter Sidcart lead it away with Craig Corish in fourth, Peter Duke in fifth, and Harry Hartley Price in sixth there. Now, Peter hasn't raced with us in a while. Is a fairly tidy driver, and we actually have 5 cars in the pits from that early incident coming up the straight before the boot. John McLaughlin holding off Andy White here, making it a very close fight. And there's no more than half a second really between each car in the top 8 all the way back to Ian Carmichael. So this is got great prospects for close racing here. John McLaughlin trying to extend his lead, but Andy White is not allowing that and staying very much in touch with Peter Sidcart close behind and Craig Corish right on the tail of Peter, and then Peter Duke and Harry Hartley Price not far behind there. Harry's lost touch a little bit, but not by much. But Cochran is to extend that lead now up to 7/10. But Andy White and Peter just biding their times as they go sweeping around there. You can go quite wide on that corner without getting an off track. And this can be tricky. You've just got to moderate your speed round there, get back on before that yellow and red strip runs out. And as close to the wall as you dare. Oh, and some people get closer than others as Dean Shasby takes a bit of a spin and has a bang into the wall. Tim Reed has called it a day there, and he is out. It's been really unfortunate over time in this league. John McLaughlin really showing everyone how to take the lead and hold it. That's exactly what he's doing. But I say this is probably the closest we've had it since John McLaughlin has joined us. And I dare say he's got a bit of a battle on his hands tonight. Craig Corish back there in fourth is really trying to put Peter Duke under pressure. On board with Craig there. Craig now fourth. Peter Duke. Hold on to the back of Craig as much as he can in fifth there. Harry back in sixth is slightly off of those guys, a bit more of a gap. So as that fight continues, further back, we've got Jay Rooney trying to challenge Sean Clark here. He is very close. He dives for the inside. And yet he's through. I think Sean backed out a bit there. Going into the boot to allow him to go through. Nicely done there by Jay. Go back up with the leaders. Yet to make an impression. Not really getting much closer. Sean McLuhan on and off. It's 4/10, half a second. Moving in and out from there. With the Sidcars holding on there in third, as is Craig Corish in fourth. Peter Duke in fifth, and Harry Hartley Price in seventh place. As they come down the start finish straight yet again and into T1, sweeping round. Great big right hander there. And then we come up the hill towards that incident on the first lap. Too many people trying to squeeze through too small a gap. And Andy White has a run on Sean McLuhan now. Could be able to do anything with it. He got right in the toe on the straight, but doesn't look like able to take advantage, and that gap stretches back out to half a second. I'm just going to have to be patient here. Not like they're not trying. They certainly are. They're just biding their time, really. Right, so Jay's now under pressure, and we just come in as Sean goes sweeping round the outside and takes the place back from Jay Rooney. A nice little battle between these two in the AMS. So Sean's now in the lead for the AMS, Jay Rooney in second. What's more noticeable on the timing screen is that Mark Vero is out. That means Sean Clark just has to finish this race to take the lead in the AMS listings, in the standings. So I'm sure there was more of a battle there to come. So we'll let them get on with it. And we will go back up top as Peter Duke tries to put Craig Corish under pressure here. Duke in the Audi, chasing down that Porsche. And Harry Hartley Price is off the back of these 1.2 seconds now. So it's a top 5 fight with no more than half a second or so between each of them. I'm going to take one error here from these drivers, let someone through. And now Peter's trying to put, Peter Sidcar that is, trying to put a move on Andy White. He's definitely getting closer. Got those headlights on. He's got the old full beam on. Trying to spin Andy down. It's quite cool. He's, yeah, he managed to stay clear there. Harry has reattached himself to the back of the group. So it's back to a six-way fight now. Andy White gaining some ground yet again. And John McLaren as they go up the hill. And it's the toe in that straight that's giving him that. It's really hard, finding it really hard to hold on once to get into the sweeping right-hander following. So these guys almost like they're on a bit of elastic here. Pretty awesome racing for these to actually maintain this distance. It's lovely and clean. Everyone knows that they've got to give it their full concentration though to stay with it. And as we come round to the start finish again, Andy White will try and make some ground up, I'm sure. Around first corner, but he doesn't. In fact, Peter Seacart is now putting Andy under pressure. Peter Duke is on the tail of Craig Corish there, but there's just not really anything in it with these guys. It's seesawing backwards and forwards, just waiting for an error really. Heidi Racing, nobody's dive bombing, which I'm sure they could. Maybe a case they're waiting for the pit stops. Peter Duke, then thank you. On Craig Corish, who's Craig has dropped off the lead three a bit now and is over a second away. That means he's going to be out of the tow as we go down the start finish. So he's going to be under danger from Peter Duke here. That's for certain. And he is, as Peter dives for the inside and makes a lovely clean pass into T1. Of course, now back in fifth. Peter Duke up to fourth, but they're now 2 seconds off the three leaders. So that has split them up into a couple of groups now. A leading group of 3, 2 seconds back to Peter Duke and Craig Corish, and Harry Hartley Price is now second and a half off of them in 6th. The rest of the field pretty much spread out. He's trying to do what he can to put Peter Duke under pressure and get that place back. I don't think there's much doing, to be honest. It looks like Peter Sigkamp might be the one that fancies his chance. Oh, and was that a mistake there by Andy White? It was. Mistake by Andy means Peter's through. And he's had a wobble. He's gone in the pits. So I don't know whether he's hit the wall or something somewhere. He definitely had a wobble. That means Sean McLaughlin and Peter Sigkamp are now away with it. Andy White's in the pit and dropping ever further back. As Craig Corish puts Peter Duke under pressure. Fourth chasing down third. So what was a close-knit fight there is now petered out. Jean McLuhan is once again away. Whether Peter can do anything about that, we wait to see. But for now, look, Craig Corish chasing down Peter Duke. They're 2.5 seconds off the back of Peter Sigkamp now. We do have another little battle happening as Rob Sutherland is on the back of Adrian Hadfield here. Rob in 9th place, trying to put Adrian under pressure, get him to make a mistake. These last 2 corners is where there's going to be one, if anywhere. Go slightly wide there, and there's the wall to greet you. But no, Adrian handles that well. And we've got Oliver Shubzinski and Andy White is now back out and in 11th. So Rob here trying to get up into 8th place on the back of Adrian Hadfield. He wins. Smart Cookie as they go through the bus stop. Once again on lap 11. We should start to see the pit stops happen in 10 minutes or so time. No Simon Cheshire this week. Challenging. Rob Sutherland trying to get through on Adrian now. Within a couple of tenths. And as they come through the last 3 corners, and Adrian had a little bit of a slide there. That would have cost him a tenth or so. So I'm not quite sure. Just watching the timing screen, see Craig Corish drop back there. He's gone in the pits. So Craig Corish has come a cropper on lap 12. Adrian Hadfield is now under immense pressure from Rob Sutherland. Come down the straight, and Oliver's on the back of Rob as well. So Rob hasn't got it all his way. He's trying to hunt down Adrian, but he's at the same time he's got to be careful because Oliver's there waiting to pick up the scraps if he can. Adrian doing a really good job of holding these two off. And Oliver's taking right advantage here to tag on to these. The 7th, 8th and 9th. Back up front, Pedicicca is on the tail and hunting down Jean McLuhan. And I think we just missed the manoeuvre by Rob, and then Adrian got the place back again. This is a really tight fight now, and it's all because of the draft. As they come down the straight round into T1, they'll come up this hill, and there'll be even more draft to be had. So this will be a really close battle as they come up the hill here. Whether anyone takes any chances into the bus stop. It is possible to go too wide on entry, but unless you're on the inside line, no, nobody's going to chance that there. Yeah, unless you're on the inside line, you're going to be the loser. But they're certainly all over the back of each other here. Rob desperate to stay on Adrian's tail so that Oliver can't get through. And obviously for Oliver, he wants to stay as close as possible in case there is a coming together, and then they gain 2 places. So Rob and Oliver go quite a bit wider than Adrian there. Probably give Rob a bit more of a slingshot as they come down the start-finish straight. But the gap's just not dropping enough for anyone to take an advantage there. We come round the second corner back up the hill before the bus stop. It's straight and a powerful toe on it, and you can see that because you can see the gap diminishing between Rob and Adrian, but he's not close enough to take a dive. Oliver's staying in touch, and that's for sure. Sure, he'll manage to get this move at some point. Meanwhile, Jay Rooney has managed to get back on the tail of Sean Clark and is trying to find a way through, but nothing doing there into the bus stop. Still putting him under quite a bit of pressure though, with only a couple of tenths between them. He's definitely trying to find a way past. Patience there as Peter Duke we see goes into the pits. So it's an early pit stop, trying to make a change. Ian Fraser's in as well. Ian Carmichael's in. So the pits are starting to come in for refuel. The window is open. Rob Southern and Oliver are now dived in. Right, so Craig Corish has joined this fight. Now, this is first and second place for Am, and Craig is 11th for Crows. Oh, Jay went a bit wide there. So he's Definitely under pressure now from Craig Forish. Is he going to let the pro driver through? No. As if you want it. Oh, and Jay has a bit of a tank slapper there. Oh, he nearly takes Liam Fraser and Ian Carmichael out as they come out of the pits. Scary moment for Jay Rooney as he lets Liam Fraser through, and Ian Carmichael, probably the safest thing to do there after that tank slapper. And now Craig Corish has made his way through on Sean Clark, but that's not a battle for space. And we just missed it. Peter Sidcar's through. Right, nothing much to see. It was Jean McLuhan going into the pits, and we just see at the top of the picture there, Jean McLuhan going into the pit lane at the 26-minute mark. Peter staying out. So Peter will be hoping no back markers in the way, and he'll just be able to make time up here. Because he's got to put less fuel in, and he'll be slightly lighter. He may be able to get out in front of McLuhan, but we will have to see. Never actually driven the Audi. Give that a try at some point. So Sean Clark and Jay Rooney into the pits as well. So that's the battle for first and second in the AMS. Sean McLuhan is now out. So we've got Ian Carmichael now being hunted down by Liam Fraser in 6th and 7th. And Liam Fraser, benefit of the toe coming up the hill. Let's put him right on the back of Ian Carmichael. But it's a car in the pits. So we want to keep a close eye on this. As Harry's in the pits too. Peter Duke's in the pits. Sean Clark's still in the pits. He must either have repairs. Well, we'd have had a fast repair, so it wouldn't be that. Must be under a penalty. So that's giving Jay Rooney. Yeah, he's given Jay Rooney first place by a long way. A good 40 odd seconds there before he comes out of the pits. Now, let's look for Peter Sidcar. We're going to go on board with Jean McLuhan as he comes down, start finish straight. Peter Sidcar is coming out of the pits, and has he done it? I think he has. And we can't even see Peter. There he is, just going up the hill. He's 2.5 seconds away. That was brilliant. Seeing him was half a second behind, he's made up 3 seconds in the pits. That's incredible. And he's had to get through back markers as well. So what a fantastic job by Peter Sidcar there. So McLuhan's now 2.5 seconds behind, and Sean Clark is a back marker in the way. Hopefully he'll just stay out of the way as he fights to the left. And then we see McLuhan there chasing Peter down, but 2.5 seconds to make up. That's a long old drag. So the closest fight we have on track at the moment is Ian Carmichael and Liam Fraser, and that's everyone pitted now with 15 minutes to go. They've all done their pit stops. The only reason to go to the pits now will be a penalty or repairs. So nobody gets a penalty. But Jay's just had a moment, or Adrian Hadfield just gone through into 10. Yeah, it doesn't look like much is happening there. The big old gaps towards the back. So this is the closest fight we've got. 7th place, Liam Fraser trying to chase down Ian Carmichael. And holding Liam at bay. Intense as they come round once again and up the hill. And that toe, you can see what that does, as that brings Liam Fraser within touch, and he dives for the inside, but he's just not close enough. He can't make it through there. There is no space. He's just not close enough to get the overlap and force Ian wide. So he has to back out, ready to try again another day. So Peter Sickhart, 2.3 seconds. So the gap has dropped a little bit, but nothing massive. I'm on board with Liam Fraser. Staying nicely in touch. Nice and smooth. Mercedes. All German battle here. W just fending him off. Come down the start, finish straight. Nice and smooth through there. Come up the hill now. Going to have some tow here. We come up towards the bus stop. As long as he got a nice exit on the corner, it's going to be close enough this time. He looks for the inside, says just close enough again. And there is. Now, looking further up, we've got Harry is, well, we've got some back markers. And we've got Baz in the mix there. Oh, there's Adrian Hadfield. No, it's 86. There's Andy White caught in the middle there. And Sean Clark and Harry's through. So Harry's through, chasing down Andy White. Typical as we come away, we've got Liam and Ian trading places here. We'll just stay with them just for a bit because this may prove to be a good fight if they come up the hill, because Liam is going to have the tow and it's going to be extensive because it's so close. Here we go, side by side. Who's going to be brave? Liam says, thank you very much. I'll take that gap. Leave the door open. I'm driving right through. That's exactly what he's done. And he's off, basically. Didn't need an invite. Ian's saying, not just yet, matey boy. Come on back. And he managed to stay in touch. That's further up. While we watch this, Harry's got through on Andy White. So we've got Peter Sicard, Jean McLuhan closing the gap, albeit slowly, is now 2 seconds. And then Harry's 8.5 seconds behind McLuhan. But yeah, it's only a 2 second gap between the first two now with 10 minutes to go. It's only a handful of laps. And Liam is now pulling away from Ian here. Nearly extended that lead by half a second. Andy White is trying to regain that position. As we see Harry flashing back marker, which is Baz there, stays out of the way. Baz can't go anywhere through the bus stop, obviously. So unfortunately that holds Andy up just a touch. Not anyone to do about that though. And now we get back to that situation where we just have some big gaps there, although Peter Duke, Adrian Hatfield's dropping back through the field. I don't know whether he's had a problem there. There's Adrian, dropped back a few cars. So Jay Rooney now leads the AMS. He's a long way ahead of Sean Clark there after Sean having to take that penalty. His pit stop on lap 15. So 7 laps later, and Jay has a commanding lead there. And if he can just stay all four wheels on the track, not sure a lot's going to change there. So second in the AMS is, third in the AMS is James Fraser. So James potentially stands an opportunity, although that's a big gap to make up, especially at the AM level. It's assuming James has got enough fuel on board, stopping on lap 11. That would be one of the earlier pit stops. There's Peter out front, Jean McLuhan. I can see there as they come round. Here the car is in front of them, where that's Adrian Hadfield. I think that's who that is. Yep, that is Adrian. Peter Sicard goes through. And he leads it from Jean McLuhan, 1.5 seconds behind now. So that time has fallen significantly. So a good half a second has been gained by McLuhan there. Whether Peter is backing off a little bit because there's not a lot of the race to go. Literally 5 minutes left. McLuhan is definitely driving well there to bring that gap down so far. Now, Ian Carmichael trying to get a place back on Liam Fraser. There's Liam. Only a second behind Ian. Trying his hardest to get on to Liam Fraser. If he can just get some draft down the start-finish straight, he might stand a chance going uphill at this late stage. 4 minutes left on the clock. Minute 44 a lap for these guys. Minute 45 maybe. So it's 2-3 laps left. That's all we've got. Just depending on the timing of Peterson cut crossing the line. And charging down. Trying to desperately close that gap on Liam Fraser. Doesn't seem to want to budge. Bit of even that little bit of toe just before the bus stop didn't help. But Liam just caught the grass a little there, impeded his acceleration away, and Ian Carmichael has now got within speed. Oh, and he loses it! Oh, how unfortunate. A bit too close there. Oh, that was close as well. That was yeah, really close there. That's one of the back markers going through. And Rob Sutherland is now going to try and take advantage. Ian's unfortunate spin. Try and get himself another place. Right. So the green car is there. He was really lucky to pulls over. Number 6 on the side, I see there. Anyway, then Carmichael now under pressure from Rob Sutherland. There's that back marker lets them through. Peter Duke further back overtakes Jay Rooney on track. Different divisions. And just under a minute to go now. As we come towards the end. Oh, and Jay. What happened to Jay there? He went very, very wide. Lost quite a lot of time going wide, but I think not going to be much harm done there, as the race is all but over, really. We'll stay on with Peter Sidcup at the front. Sean McLuhan couldn't close that gap for any less than a second and a half. And they lap Jay going into the bus stop. Fantastic drive here by Peter. That pit stop was tremendous. Gained him a good couple of seconds. Fantastic fueling strategy that was. As the clock rolls over 45 minutes. Then it comes round. What should be the final time? Probably easing off, but Jean McLuhan is now within a second. As we come up, and Peter Sikar, after a long time away from Tanso Racing Group, is back in style and he wins it from Jean McLuhan. Harry Hartley Price back there in third. Bit of a way back. Andy White takes fourth. Craig Corish coming over the line for fifth. Liam Fraser is quite a bit further back, but takes sixth. Ian Carmichael in seventh. Rob Sutherland in eighth. So they come round to take the line. And then we have Peter Duke. Oliver. And there's Peter Duke. And that was James Fraser in the lime green car that we couldn't identify earlier. And Peter will be the last one over the line. Fantastic. So that's then finished. Let's now go and have a look and see the results. So first off, we have the pro results up on screen. 14 runners today, drivers, and Peter Sikar takes it. Fantastic. From Jean McLuhan, who's found someone to battle with. Harry Hartley Price in third. Well done, Harry. Andy White, Craig Corish in fifth. Liam Fraser in sixth. Ian Carmichael in seventh. Rob Sutherland in eighth. Oliver Subchinski in ninth. Peter Duke in 10th. That rounds the top 10 with Adrian Hadfield 11. Baz Cutting in 12th. And not finishing, it's Tim Reed and Scott McFall there, 13th and 14th. So if we now skip over to the AMS, it's 7 drivers this time in the AMS. Jay Rooney takes the win. Well done, Jay. From Sean Clark in second. James Fraser on his debut comes in third. Good podium there. Robert Gregg in fourth. Jordan Hadfield, after that accident at the beginning, ends up in fifth. Dean Sheesby in sixth. And Mark Vero, a victim of that accident, unfortunately, on lap one, failed to finish yet again. So that will alter the tables and mean that Sean Clark now takes the lead in the AMS with just a couple of races to go. So it's really warming up, guys. So next week we will be in Japan at Fuji. So I look forward to seeing you there. You can still join and race us if you like. Obviously, there will be no ability to win any prizes, but you can still take some points off some of the contenders. Come and join us at tansoracing.co.uk. You'll find a link to our Discord. We have GT3s, but GT4s, FF1600, and there's the GR86 running as well. So there's really something for everyone. Until next week, see you at Fuji.